You're always welcome to wait for that, but you could also just purchase it now, and then of course, stay tuned and watch. This is the companion, oh, nope, let me see here. We were skipping ahead just a little bit. Okay, you've got a set of 6 Floral Word stamps. Set of 6, that's key, because for $22.25, you get all 6 of the word stamps. You get hello and love, and look at how big and perfect these are. Hello, love, thanks, friend, sorry, and hope. And this, I gotta say, Sarah, this would pair beautifully with those embossing powders that we had earlier, and I don't know if we have any of those. I'm gonna ask I'll ask my producer, Pat. Pat, do we have any of those? It was our final 5 and 5, and those were a great embossing powder. Okay, so if we have those, we'll show those to you. But Sarah, I love what you've done here, and these stamps, I mean, you could pay $10 or more, $15 for a stamp like this, and you're getting 6.
Each one, yep. Exactly, exactly. And do you know what? If you went out to the shops to buy them, these are still current in our inventory. You would be paying that price for them. Now, I love these because slimline cards are all the rage at the moment, Shannon, and these are perfect. I mean, look at this card here. So you've got your word, it really, you know, it really stands out. And then you've got that beautiful, you know, like in this case, you've got that wonderful daffodil, couldn't think of the name of the flower then, or maybe you just want to stamp them and do one of your inky backgrounds on here. Use them with those embossing folders that we had on earlier. Give your embossing folder in the background. Do a little bit of colouring. They just look so elegant. Now, what I wanted to do is show you how clearly they stamp, okay? So I'm going to start off by stamping. Let's just get the thanks one out. So I've got the thanks one here, and all I'm going to do is take my stamping platform, pop this in the middle, and then I want to show you how clearly they stamp. So I'm just inking up, and this is just one of my alcohol-proof dies. So this is if you want to do a little bit of colouring with this. You just ink up the stamp. They're not clear acrylic, they are photopolymer. So can you see when I stamp this down, look at the incredible detail that we will get in that stamp. I mean, that is just fabulous. And then from there, you can go on and you can colour it. So you can use some of your alcohol pens to colour it. You could use some of your classic pens and do a little bit of colouring and shading. You can add some of your coloured backgrounds over the back there. And then actually you can just do a nice simple card and add that over the front, and look how well it stands out there like that. But what I did want to show you, Shannon, is yes, we've got that fantastic, you've got the translucent embossing powder. So what I love about this one is, let's have a little look. I'll just give this a rub over with my anti-static bag. Then if I take the translucent ink, so you won't be able to see this at home because this is the invisible ink that we were telling you about that we've got on the special price today. So I ink it up with my invisible sticky ink as it is, and I'm going to stamp all the way over there on that fantastic friend design. Now, once we've got that stamped, again, you probably won't be able to see this, but if I just put a sheet of paper behind, and I've decanted that gold embossing powder into just a little jar here so that I can demonstrate with it a little bit easier. And then look what happens when we tap off the excess. We've got that gold embossing powder just left on the front. And then with your heat gun, this is the technique that everybody loves. If I just start heating it with that heat gun, what you'll see is, because it's a lovely big, it's like a really big bold font, you can see that starting to change right in front of your eyes. These stamps are absolutely made to do that fantastic embossing technique. Let's have a little look. I'll change hands so I don't burn my fingers as we're going. So if this is something that you've never tried before, that set of inks is going to work absolutely beautifully well with this. And you can see that shine, because what we're doing is we're melting that powder. And then once you've got that melted powder on there, then all you're going to do is you're going to work from here, and we can do some watercolouring, we can do some colouring in, and they give you that gorgeous background. So all the cards I'm going to show you now, we've done one of those techniques with Shannon.
Well, okay, when you did the invisible ink and the embossing powders, it made me feel like a child. You know when you used to use the lemon, you'd write things with lemon, it never turned out as beautifully as that, but this is kind of like the grown-up crafters version of having that invisible ink. If you've got children and you want to work with them and get them interested, what a great way to be able to do that. That set is $15.99 for our final, but you don't have to choose today. For $22.25, typically a big stamp like this with all of this detail, you're talking at least $10, $12, $13, $15. You're getting all 6, and you need those great sentiments. There's your hello, and beautifully decorated. You can't get a stamp of this quality that would actually stamp every little teeny tiny little leaf and petal only with Crafter's Companion. You get hello and love, thanks and friend and sorry and hope. And if you felt like sharing some of these with some of your friends, they are individually packaged as well. So you get all 6 individually packaged for $22.25. $4.45. So now doing the math, actually, I'm not. The FlexPay is kind of doing the math for me. For less than $4 a stamp. Again, Sarah, I feel like if you were walking by a store and they said, okay, hey, we got to give these away. They were $15, now they're $3 and change. You'd be like, oh my goodness, I'm going to start stamping.
Exactly, and that is what my aspiration for this whole show is. Loads of you are going to get into maybe a new technique. Maybe you've never die cut before, maybe you've not stamped before. This is, at these prices, you could afford to kind of get a set and get started. So I'll show you some of these up close. That's your thanks. This is being done with the black embossing powder here, right? So that's your black embossing powder on there. Maybe you want to do like the love. Now this has been coloured with our tri-blend pen, Shannon, so you've got that real depth. So if you're someone who loves to do colouring, and I know you and I have done loads of shows where we've been doing colouring, how fabulous to have these lovely big open roses and peonies and daffodils to be able to colour into, or nice and simple, if you just want to do a little bit of colour in the background and then, you know, go over your embossed images. It just shows you, I mean, this to me, I just think is so classic. And when it comes to things like a sympathy card, Shannon, we don't want to do anything that's too fussy, too over the top. You just want something so elegant like that.
That's actually a really good point, you know? I mean, that sorry, it just says it all. Whether you are sorry, you need to tell someone sorry, or just that loss, maybe. Hello and friend and love. Imagine receiving a card with that big statement. You're getting all 6 today for $22.25, and take advantage of our 5 flexible payments only today for our very special craft day. And by the way, if you were wanting that invisible ink that makes you feel like a child, we're calling it invisible ink. It really is that